What is this beautiful stone? It was gifted to me. Do you know what it is? If you know, tell me in the comments. It's fairly large for a pendant. It's, well, let's see. That's next to a penny. That's next to a quarter. Anyway, we're going to wrap it with a single piece of 20 gauge. I have this leftover burgundy copper. I have about 3.5 feet, and we're just going to see if this works. So people ask me about a top drilled hole of a stone, and so now here's your chance to see how it's done. Although this is not exactly, it's kind of a funny triangle shape. Some people prefer more of a teardrop or an oval, but in any case, you'll get to see one way to do this. So put the wire through the hole, bring it to the very middle of the wire, bring the two ends together to make sure that I've gotten to the very middle. And this is fun. Make sure you have a lot of table space or a lot of space, because the wire is going to reach out and try to grab everything as you're working. Sometimes it's, if you can, it's good to just walk around and carry it with you if you're not in danger of dropping anything. But once you have the middle, you crimp it right here and give it a couple twists. Just hear the wire hitting everything. And this is pretty much where I will give it a right angle bend and then come around like this and give it the top loop for the bail. And I'll kind of roll it up and back until I get it the size I want. And what about the shape? Well, the shape comes later. Once you make sure you have enough wire there, then you can slowly form it into a nice circular loop. Some people will say, you know, put a marker in there, put a paintbrush or something, and then you can wrap it right around there and get a nice tight rounded loop at the top. And I say, that's nice, go for it if you want. I like to play around like this and make my loop just right. But anyway, once you get the loop you want and it's at the part you want, then you give it a good twist, and then you see if it still held the shape you wanted. And then you have fun. You basically take these two strands and you make some pretty designs, and you put it across the face, and you come around every which way, you come back up to the top, and then start wrapping around in what I call a scarf, pretending this is a little face. You just start wrapping the loops and stacking them up until you're about halfway up, and then you cut them, leave two little ends and tuck them into that little bowl that forms by the wrapping, and you're done. But in this case, the stone is so pretty. I don't want to put too many crazy swirly things around over the surface of the front of the stone. I just want to, I want to go start on this side, so I'll bring it back. But I just basically want to try a very simple design. It's similar to some I've done before, a little different, and just see if it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two strands and I'm going to bring them a little bit over and then scallop them, kind of curve them right back again, like that. And then I'm going to fold them over the back side. I'm pressing tight from every direction because I don't want the wire to move. I want it to stay right where I put it. And I'm making it as tight as I can. And now I'm going to scallop the back the same way with a little loop. And again, press it right there. And then make another one on the front. Come around. And this corner makes it easy. You can just go right across like that. And come up, make another one right here. Try to make them kind of even, although they're not going to be perfect. Go back, over. Now, honestly, I've never tried this. So see how that's that's popping up right there. So we want to press and press and press. We're pressing from every direction. And make another loop here. And this time the loop is coming right across the top of, whoops, the top of the corner there. And make another loop across the back. Doesn't this wire look so good on this olive green? It looks kind of like Kambaba Jasper, but Kambaba Jasper is more like, it's this definite olive green with black, but it doesn't have these little red markings in there. So don't know. You guys probably know what it is, and hopefully you already put a comment down telling me, because you guys are so smart. You're the smartest of all the smart people. Okay, so we're almost back up to the front. And has this worked? And it looks kind of pretty to me. I feel like I like it. We're coming back up. I'm going to wrap once around the top loop. Okay. And that's kind of cool the way it is. And I think it would hold. I think it would be fine. But that doesn't answer the question of, will this thing work that I'm planning? So let's find out. So now I'm going to take one of these strands and I'm going to thread it through here. Ha ha ha. Now maybe this would be better with 22 gauge, because 20 gauge is a little bit hard to manipulate, but this is copper. If it was like German silver or something, that would be even more annoying. But let's see, we're pressing it in, and so far it's doing nothing because it kind of went under the loop, but it didn't really latch onto the loop. So see, it could slide right back out again. So what we really want to do is come around one more time to really thread it, and that's going to be the part where it can be very smooth, or it could kink if we're not moving correctly. And that looks like it's turning into a very smooth threaded loop right there. So let's just give it a pull with our pliers, give it a little pull, get it real. I think we can get it really tight. We have all the leverage on our side. It's not pulling anything out of shape. And I'm feeling it. So let's try the next one. Now let's see. You always got to flow with the wire. Which way is the wire going? You don't want to kink the wire by trying to bend it against the flow. I can't explain that any more than just work with some wire and you'll know what I mean. So, I'm getting my fingernail underneath here to try to lift it a little because I made it so tight that I can't get it under. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing, but it's a little bit difficult when you're trying to do your threading. There we go. It's under. And that looks like it's going to be a good loop. I think it will. I think it will. I'm rolling it. See, I'm rolling it because if I just pull it, it might try to go somewhere I don't want it to. It's controlling the wire as you're coming around and through it is very, very important. Okay, pull, gentle, little pulls, making sure I'm not pulling anything out of whack. Gentle. Now see, that came all the way down there. I wanted it at the apex of the loop. Didn't want it down there. So now we're going to pull it back here. But now we have this big fat old scallop loop here. I was not planning on that. That's weird. Don't want it. Should I keep it? See, this is where heavy wire will fight you now. Oh, look at that. And I only got under one of the two loops. Well, we're just going to work with this because it's looking kind of cool and I like it. I don't want this much of a loop. I don't want this much of a curve here. I want it to be tighter. So I'm just going to have to do little tiny movements. Just pull it tighter. And look, now it's pulling that loop out where I don't want it. Okay, I'm gonna win this. Don't you worry. It's little tiny rolls. Careful not to scratch the wire either while you're at it, while you're doing all this other craziness. Just keep pulling it up and back, up and back. Just try to get it a little tighter. I'm moving it like a 0.5 millimeter with each movement. It's a little frustrating, but I'm getting it tighter. It's getting tighter in there. I should have just left it when it had that weird crazy loop going across, because it was not what I wanted, but it was a nice loop, and now I have like a funny L shape. That's okay. We'll pull it, see if we can pull it back into a loop shape. So we are coming across the face of the stone a little bit more than I wanted, but it's kind of an elegant look. It has kind of an elegant look to it. I kind of like it. So I'm not going to fight it any more than that. I'm just going to keep going with it. I guess we'll move on to the next one. Now we have this funny crimped kink look. Let's see if I can get rid of that. Just mess with this. All was going so well until I wasn't paying attention. I was overconfident, and that loop just slid way down there. I wanted it up in the apex, but that's okay. Let's try to move this back into a full, it's pretty much back into that curve that it was in before. Okay. I didn't move it as much as I wanted, but let's move on. Okay. So now let's make sure we get it under both of these this time. Let's see, lift this one, and then we'll lift this one with our fingernail, and then we'll get it under. Yes, we are under. This time let's pay better attention to what our loop does. Oof. Okay, we're threading him through, we're threading him through. And just grabbing the camera. I think I'm getting this one tighter. It is going to be across the face of the stone. There's not much I can do about it, but it's not a terrible thing. It's not covering up like huge portion of the stone. It's just one little measly curve, but I'm going to try to get as tight as I can. I'm slipping. I don't want to slip. All right, let's stop that there, and let's go on to this part. All right, so now we want it to be under here, or should we go under here one more time? Maybe if we go under one more time, we'll solidify it. Maybe if I pull that tighter. I like that idea. I'm going to go under this one more time. This time I can do it pretty fast, I think, because I have it in the spot I want it. But let's not be overconfident. Get it there and pull. Pull. Okay, good. That's good. All right, that's not, nah. We'll worry about that later. Right now, let's get this where we want it in here. See this right there? That'll pull that too tight, too fast, and that could turn into a kink, but it is not. It's coming out. And there we go. All right. Good. Pull that tight. That's good. And we kind of do want a scallop here to mimic these scallops, but come around one more time. Yeah, definitely 22 gauge would be more forgiving with these threading area parts, but whatever. This is the gauge we had, and this is the gauge we're going to work with. You guys can be doing this with 22 gauge as you watch. All right, let's pull that back. All right. So basically I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to smooth out that curve with my fingernail, and I'm going to try to smooth out that curve, and I'm trying to make it look like very nice scallops. But I'm going to come across to this one and then come across to the top. And then I'm going to do the back ones. The back ones don't have to look as pretty. Now watch, they'll come out looking prettier because I'm not trying, but whatever. Okay, not bad. Let's smooth this out. Okay, that's actually turning back into a curve pretty nicely. Let's see this one. We can see if we can curve it the other way. That's kind of cool. Give it the opposite curve. And then this one kind of does like almost a little bit of an S curve. So that's kind of, I'm kind of feeling that. Looks kind of like royal draped portions of a robe if you have enough imagination. Okay. Let's see, what do we do here? This looks like our longer piece of wire, so we're just going to thread these guys in the back. Again, they don't have to be as good because supposedly no one's ever going to see the back, in which case they'll probably come out much better because I'm not overthinking it. Go figure. Let's pull it tight. Okay. Let's go in this one. Definitely coming out easier. Pull that tight. Go back under. Pull it tight. See how fast I'm going now because I'm not thinking about it too much. See what happens when you overthink? You make it worse. If you just move with speed, often things come out the best. It's like speed equals smoothness for some reason. And then once in a while speed makes a total disaster, but you're moving so fast you have time to redo it. You have time to start all over and you laugh and then you learn, and then the second time it's amazing. So speed rather than overthinking. All right. It doesn't look amazing, but it definitely is less complicated. Get that under there. Almost done. Almost done, guys. Pull it tight. Thread it one more time. Notice I'm going under each one twice because that makes the threading extra tight. If you only go under once, then you pull from one side and it pulls from all the sides like a shoelace. But if you thread each one twice, then each one has its own individual strength anchor, if that makes sense. And we'll go back up to the top here and we'll scarf. And now these two wires are together. So we'll finish the scarfing. Keep coming around and around and around till we're happy we've come up high enough. Cut 2 tabs halfway across the loop. Grab those 2 tabs, tuck them into the bowl. First roll them towards the bowl, then pinch them down in, so the sharp ends disappear, never to stab anyone, and the whole piece is secure, never to come undone. Let's give that a little tug. Remember, this is the back. We're just strengthening it. Okay, and let's see the front. Ooh, pretty. I feel like it's pretty. I like it. I feel like it's maybe not as perfect as I would have imagined, but it's definitely interesting, and it's something new I tried without ever practicing. So again, let's work this curve a little bit more, try to get the wonkiness out of that. Should I make it pop up like this so that, would that be better? Or do you like it the way it is? Or it's like everything's a little bit off, draped a little bit differently. I kind of like it the way it is. Let's just leave it like that. Let's see what it looks like if we pushed it the other way. Well, if we could get the smoothness into it, then we could really tell. I like that too. But I'm going to go back. I like it. It's unconventional. I like it with the underhanded curve. And I think we are done. There we go. Sometimes the pliers can actually help and not make it more. If you do it in just the right spot, you can give it the illusion that it's actually a totally smooth curve. All right. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining me. Hope to see you again in another edition of Late Night Wire Wrap. Good night.